Connecting my Tristar MPPT solar charge controller to the wall. This is how I always wanted to have my system set up, where everything is in view, easily manageable, visible and reachable. Of course, I'll be removing this when I do the final paneling, but still, I gotta get the electronics going for now, and that's priority today. It's no big deal to just undo this and set it aside on the countertop while I put that piece of paneling on. When I get to that, it should be fine. Well, there's that. Now I've got to connect all the wires. That's going to be a job. So I just get at it. I just brought in my second new battery. I have to let it get to room temperature though before I want to hook it up. But sorry, I just bumped the camera. I am going to connect the two together. Actually, I want to measure their voltage separately. One was lower than the other. 5.88. That's not very good. 5.88 is not charged. That was the one I had before. And the one I just got, 5.88. Wow, isn't that weird? Well, they're both at the same voltage. Oh, they're from the same batch. 1014. They were both from the same batch. Well, that's convenient. Exact same date. So they've been sitting around on the shelf for maybe 30 days, maybe less. But they're brand new. That's a good thing. So I'm gonna connect these together, and then I'm going to take the Harbor Freight solar panels that I have, that I'm using on my old antique battery bank, and I am going to connect them to the MPPT charge controller, because I want to see how much power I'm getting out of that old Harbor Freight set. I really want to do some tests, and hooking up the bigger panels is going to be a job and a half anyway. So, because that's going to require running the wire through the meadow. And people think it's easy to move those panels. It's not. They're heavy, and once you get them on a heavy wooden backing, it's a two-man carry per panel. So you don't just pick up a panel and move it around. It's a two-man carry once you got them on the wooden backings. And I've got them doubled up. So two panels on one frame. You don't just pick that up and carry it around. And then the other thing is the wire is super thick and heavy, and it's not meant to be flexed or moved around. It's just heavy, and it lays there. And so it's going to be a job to get that rewired and get the solar panels set up the way I want them. So for now, anyway, I want to do a test on the Harbor Freight panels. So I'm going to be stringing them up to the inside here and disconnecting the old solar panels, or the old charge controller and the old batteries, and bringing all the wiring into these two for now. Then I'm going to hook up my Bedini and have it work on these guys for a while, because these guys are pretty low. These are the other four that Advanced Auto tested and said they're good, but they're not very very well charged right now. I'm not happy with their status at this time. So I'll be running the Bedini from the new battery bank onto the old battery bank for a couple weeks, and desulfate the plates, and maybe I can bring them back up to a higher capacity. Because right now, when I plugged in my laptop the other day and they dropped to 12.2, that's not cool. That's not okay. So anyway, I'm going to use these two for the primary battery bank for now, and just be very sparing on my energy usage in the meantime. just, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I need more coffee. I undid the wiring on here and I connected minus to plus. 12 volt battery. I had connected them in parallel. I'm going to have a coffee break and have some what I call liquid consciousness and wake myself up. So forgive me for what I just did a minute ago on video. That was entirely dumb. Anyway, I undid all that and I connected minus to plus. Now I have a plus and a minus. I have a 12 volt battery. I was thinking I was doing it the way I did the other batteries because I was hooking up parallel 6s and then connecting them together. But since I now only have 2 batteries for my primary bank, I had to wire it differently, obviously. So, problem is, it's only 11.76 volts out of the store. Not good at all, really. When you get a battery that's below 12.5, it's already discharged. So 11.7677, bad business. These batteries I cannot do a thing with right now until I get some power into these guys. So I have to urgently get the, we're talking 200 amp hours of battery capacity here. So I got to get some serious amount of current into these guys before I can even start to use them. I pulled the bathtub out of the bathroom, and because that won't be used now. I want to thank you guys. I don't know if I mentioned it, but more than one person suggested a Home Depot shower kit complete, and I ordered it right after that video was out. So thank you guys. The bathtub is out, and I'm waiting for the shower to arrive any day now, so thanks a lot for that suggestion. I disconnected the solar panel wires from the RV inside, and I've pulled it out from underneath the RV. I had to take out the skirting, and it was quite a job. I should have had the camera out, but I didn't. And I started pulling it through the yard, feeding it through the meadow, and I realized I should have my camera going here. I've got to feed it through the chicken run out around behind the solar panels, and I'm pulling it through here so that I can rerun it. I'm going to run it over around behind the chicken run and out to the tiny house in a low traffic area, so it'll be better for the wire in the long run anyway. And this is why moving these solar panels is not a simple little deal. I wouldn't want to have to do this a few times a day. Sure, you could run the wire, but you'd have to disconnect them, or have a whole mess of different wires to each separate set of panels, which would cause loss in the line, which would defeat the purpose of what you're trying to do in the first place. Get power to the tiny house on wheels. Hot wire works. That's the electric fence. I just ran fresh chicken poop through my fingers. Yuck. Oh, so I got shocked by my own electric fence and got chicken poop all over me. How nice. Alright, I'm going to pause the camera and wash my hands. I don't know if you can see what I did, or what I'm doing. There's no light in here because there's no power right now. I disconnected all the old batteries and everything, so there's no power in the tiny house at all. And what I've done is I've taken the jumper cable that used to run from the DC generator into the RV battery bank, and I have that laying down here, and I've run one side of it into the charge controller, and the other end of it is going into my battery bank. So I will have power on my charge controller in a minute here, so I'll let you watch this if you can see. Actually, I am surrounded by electrical wires and stuff. I am absolutely surrounded. Actually, the entire house is full of electrical right now. It's all electrical. I've got everything that I own out here right now to assemble this. So if you can see what I'm doing, I am going to just run the wire here. Actually, I want to run it under everything else. So there's the solar batteries. Just a minute, bear with me. I gotta run it underneath everything else. I've got a lot of wires in here. Make sure everything's neat and orderly. And then I want to run it into here. So positive is obviously plus. Disconnect my little solar panel. It has done some work. By the way, what is my voltage now? Now, I don't remember the exact voltage, so you guys will see it with me here. I had the little tiny solar, the old Harbor Freight solar panel on here for a few hours. We're at 11.78 now. I think it was 1167 if I remember right. Anyway, it's nothing spectacular, but it's been a gray, dreary day. So plus, make sure plus goes into that plus up there. Yes, plus is white. Okay. And negative is black. Okay. Negative, make sure that's a negative, not a plus. Make sure it's all right. I do not want to blow up my charge controller. That would be very unpleasant. And yes, the light comes on. Okay. I gotta get my oh wait, what side is that one? Is that right? Nope, no luck. See if I get lucky here and have the right socket. No luck. Alright. Anyway, I have to get my wrenches out of the RV and tighten them up. But all I did is hooked up, well, can you see anything? I've hooked up the positive and minus to the charge controller, and obviously it's a red light showing they're dead, really dead. So now I can go ahead and hook up the plus and minus of the solar panels, but that'll require a little bit more work because I have to go outside and continue working on them. I do have the wire in here, sitting on the floor, the big thick black wire. Goes out to the solar panels, but I still have to continue hooking them up. So it's quite a job. It's 1 in the afternoon and I'm still working on this stuff because running that massively long wire, it just takes time. Now I don't know if you can see anything. It's getting darker out and I don't have any light. All my batteries for my Ryobi are empty. So I'm working down here. First I want to check my you'll just have to trust me as I walk you through what I'm doing. I'm testing the voltage output of the solar panel, making sure I've got the right plus and minus on it before I do anything. Okay, I've got 29.9 volts. White is plus. I want to make sure I got it right. Before I plug this in, I do not want to plug this in backwards. Okay, white is plus. I hooked up one single solar panel for now, because it's really quite a job out there to do anything at all. So I'm going to run these wires in. I've got to tape them off. Where's my tape? Oh, I don't know where I put my tape. It's too dark. I don't have any batteries of anything left. It's all gone. And oh, there's my tape. It's really I'm at the bottom. My computer's empty. My cell phones are both empty. The one is my internet phone. I haven't had DSL internet for a while because I don't have the power to turn it on. And I haven't had, well, I don't have much of anything right now. All my Ryobi batteries are pretty much all emptied. Just the one in my saw, which I really don't want. I got one in the saw and one in the power driver, and I don't want to just empty them down to nothing, so I don't have any tools. So I work in semi-darkness for now as I repair my solar power setup. Now I really want to wire this stuff up properly this year, but for now I'm just getting it going so I get these batteries topped off because they're deader than dead. So this is very urgent to just get these in, get some charge going in there. Although it's dark and gray out, I should get some charge out of the panels. So white and black. White is plus, black is minus. This is one very stiff wire. Oh, that's right, I need to put that through the rubber tube. There's a rubber tube protection. I got a protective piece of rubber tubing that I put these through so they don't get ripped on the sharp lip of the metal charge controller. Sharp metal lip of the charge controller, whatever. I'll get my English right. So that one is positive and that one is negative. White, positive. I always make extra sure I don't mess this up. I do not want to fry my charge controller. Absolutely not. Okay. So there's the positive hooked up. Now, to be extra safe again, I'm going to double check the power again just to make sure I got the polarity right. I just don't play around before I go ahead and hook things up. Okay, polarity is right. And we take the negative, and that one's going to go in. And then we should have some charging in here. Oops. Come on. Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah. So, the light is green, but what does that mean? Why is that light green? That's odd. Well, let me hook up my little meter and see what this thing has to tell me. My little display. Okay. Now let's see what we got to see here. I'm going to let that reboot. So, I guess I can let that hang for a minute. I'll have to put the screws in. I'll let that reboot, and then we'll check the status of my charging here. Now this is how I wanted it. Alright, hit the button once, and we got light. We've got 11.8 volts and 16 watts. Now, that's a 200 watt solar panel out there, giving me 16 watts in. That's it. Just 16 watts out of a 200 watt panel. Now, it's getting the full 30 volts, so there's not a whole lot of loss in the lines. But I do urgently need to get some more panels connected, because that's nothing. That's nothing at all. That would take days to charge at this rate.